Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today to a chat with Playtika. Today, we'll have the co-host with me, Zach. Hi, Zach. How are you doing today?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
That's good. And we have our guest today, Barak from Playtika. Barak, maybe you can introduce yourself shortly.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, everyone. Happy to be here. I'm Barak. I live in Tel Aviv. I've been in Playtika for almost 4 years. I started in the UA department, but for the past 2 years, I've been part of a team called the Playtika Partner Program team, where we deal more with business development and the onboarding of new partners.
That's nice. Thank you so much. So, like in the conversation today, we're going to talk about like your new affiliate program. It's going to be really nice to learn some new strategy and advanced platform issues. And to start, maybe for the ones who are not familiar, maybe we can share briefly about Playtika.
For sure. So, Playtika was founded back in 2010. Today, it's one of the top gaming companies in the world. We have some of the biggest titles in social casino, games like Slotomania, World Series of Poker, and Bingo Blitz. And we also have a bunch of games in the casual genre, games like Solitaire Grand Harvest. We generate around 3 billion revenue yearly, and our marketing spend is around 500 million dollars a year. And I think that's something that makes Playtika very unique and stand out from our competitors is that everything that Playtika does is extremely data driven. Everything is revolved around data and data oriented, and we do all our marketing in house. So we have UA teams, creative teams, analyst teams, strategy teams, and our UA teams, they deal with all the different media buying channels like DSP, direct, incentivize, pre-install, anything that you can possibly think of. So I think when it comes to data and data-oriented marketing, Playtika is at the top of the game.
Yeah, those are amazing stats, of course, and I'm sure that our audience is familiar with Playtika, so it's a good start to go. And like I would say, you have like a really impressive growth since 2010 that you launched. But if you can say in a few words about the key drivers to this success.
For sure. So one of Playtika's mottos is dare to challenge, and I think it's something that the company definitely does all the time. So you can see it throughout all the various mergers and acquisitions that were done over the years. Playtika likes to acquire studios and different games that they think can fit their portfolio, and then they basically take those games to the whole next level. So games like World Series of Poker and Best Fiends were done through mergers and acquisitions. Um, Another thing that makes Playtika stand out is that during Corona there was a lot of success. So towards the end of Corona in 2020, the company actually went public right before I joined the company, and I think that gives Playtika a lot of credibility in the mobile gaming industry. And another thing that makes Playtika succeed, and one of the key drivers, is I spoke about the data, but Playtika is also very focused on AI and technology, and everything is geared towards progression. So we, in our marketing team, for example, have KPIs that are AI predictive KPIs. So we can, in our activity, know, for instance, what a user will look like in day 180 or day 360. And this helps us a lot to succeed, and one of the main key drivers that has led to the success of the company.
I think this is great. I remember the day that you went like an IPO. It was like a big happiness for everyone in this market. You know, to see such a local client become like a global wide. And I think this is definitely amazing to see this kind of success. We're very happy to have you, of course, as our client. And you know, we spoke about the new affiliate program, and when we met at your offices, was like really interesting to hear about. So maybe it's worth sharing more information with our audience today. So, how significant is affiliate marketing to Playtika user acquisition strategy, and how this strategy evolve with time?
For sure. So I'll give a bit of background. Playtika did try affiliate marketing around 7 years ago, but due to the high levels of fraud, the project was discontinued. And like I mentioned, I'm part of a new team that deals in growth and on the onboarding of new partners. And what we have learned is that there are so many different publishers and affiliates and companies that want to work with Playtika. But due to issues of capacity, we don't always have the opportunity to work with everyone and give everyone the opportunity to work with Playtika. So in our team, we came up with this new project that we're extremely excited about, the Playtika affiliate program, which basically now it gives everyone that didn't have the opportunity before to work with a big company, a big mobile gaming company like Playtika. Um, so we just launched our new affiliate offer around 3 weeks ago. The offer is currently a pilot, but it's for one of our top games called Solitaire Grand Harvest. And the offer utilizes a revenue share cost model, which we feel keeps both sides extremely motivated to drive new quality users to the game.
That's really nice and exciting. I think 3 weeks in, it's a short time, but I'm sure that
Yeah,
you learned a lot about it. And a year ago, you made the decision to go with Everflow in order to launch this program. What led you to this choice, and how Everflow supported you since then?
And actually,
for
Barack,
sure.
just to jump in, sorry, Dan, just to jump in, but obviously there's going to be people here that maybe haven't heard of Everflow, right? So maybe to give sort of other people a context, shall I just give a 10-second overview of what Everflow does, Dan?
Yeah, of course, go for it.
I know we're preaching to the choir here, but yeah, obviously Everflow is like, we're a software as a service that helps companies to create, manage, and scale their affiliate programs. So we're based over in San Francisco. We have around 100 staff, about 1,100 clients, and Barak's in good company. There's many big, large companies that we work with in the gaming industry. People like Riot Games, G5, Plarium, whole bunch of these guys, Tapjoy. And again, in terms of figures, we process around $4 billion of affiliate revenue through the platform per year. And what Everflow really does is allow companies to scale a lot of these kind of long tail affiliate activities. So whether it's through automation of invoicing, reporting, a marketplace where you can scale, there's lots of different use cases to why people might start looking at Everflow. And we definitely solve some of those problems. So yeah, Barak, it'd be great to hear within that context. I think some of those
Of
boxes,
course,
it's kind of a spoon-fed question, but some of those kind of tick what you were kind of looking for, right? In this idea of
for sure, for sure. So originally, we started working with Everflow because it offered us a loophole to work with publishers that didn't have the main integrations that most of our publishers and partners have. Integrations like AppsFlyer and Singular, where we pull our costs from Singular and our installs from AppsFlyer. So not every publishers and new partners that we wanted to work with had these integrations, and Everflow allowed us to work with them through just using the platform. Um, and then we realized that we actually want to launch this program on a bigger level where we can work with everyone in a much more simple and automatic way. And Everflow system is extremely simple to use. It's very straightforward, and it even has a marketplace that connects us, the advertiser, with publishers and affiliates that want to work with us. So it's basically just a perfect match. And like I mentioned, it's just a very simple to use platform. So if you're an affiliate or a publisher and you're listening to this webinar now, you can sign up to our offer, and within 5 minutes, you can be working with Playtika, one of the top gaming companies in the world. Um, so Everflow really just basically made this whole project possible.
That's really nice for you to sharing, and thank you, Zach, for talking a bit about Everflow in this context. I think this is really great, and you just mentioned like affiliates and publishers, and we know that it can be challenging to recruit new ones. Can you
Yep.
maybe share some of those struggles that you're facing at the moment?
So honestly, our main challenge, surprisingly, is that we didn't expect so many publishers to actually apply for the offer. We were expecting to work with maybe 10 affiliates to test out the pilot, but we've had around 50 affiliates that want to work with us, also affiliates that came through the marketplace and affiliates that Everflow connected with us, and other publishers that just wanted an opportunity to work with Playtika. So, like I mentioned, Everflow does offer the option to make it very automatic and simple, but we realized that it's hard for us to like leave out our personal touch with each affiliate. Like we want to go jump on a call with each affiliate. We want to speak more about the offer, ask them how their onboarding process was, get some more feedback and insights from them. So our main challenge has been just capacity, like working with 50 affiliates that came within these last 3 weeks. But it's a good challenge to have. And another challenge I would say is that um, we're fairly new in the whole world of affiliate marketing. It's not something that's very common in the mobile gaming industry. So it's just something that we need to learn on the go. So my boss and I, we just came back from Affiliate Summit East in New York, and I think we met a lot of different affiliates there, and it gave us a lot of insights into this whole new world that we just joined.
Yeah, and I remember we spoke after coming back from New York, and you had like a really like a really great conference. You met also with the Everflow team. You went to
Yep,
our happy hour, which was great. And I think this is part of the thing. In order to get new affiliates, you need to do some face-to-face time, and I think this is a great approach here.
for sure.
I remember that one of the things that you mentioned to us since the beginning is like the new approach in your strategy to work with like smaller partners. Can you maybe share about what inspired you in going for this strategy and how this it states in the border strategy of your user acquisition?
For sure. So we actually have a cool video that we'll share after this webinar that sort of gives a really clear picture of the whole project, but I'll just describe it to you. So envision like a blue ocean where there's a few big sharks in this ocean, and those big sharks, they basically symbolize the big partners that Playtika is working with. These are like the big DSP channels, the big offer walls, the Google, Facebook, where our spend with them can be over 1 million each month. And what we learned through our new growth team is that there are also a lot of small fish in this ocean that also want to work with Playtika. And our vision is if we work with all these small fish in this blue ocean, we'll be able to create a new big shark that can compete with the other big publishers. Um, so that's sort of like the picture and the vision that inspired this whole project. And and yeah, we basically want to give all the tiny fish also an opportunity to work with the big mobile gaming company.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for them in that case. You mentioned the integration you have with AppsFire and Singular, and I wanted to ask: is there any other integrations that you work through Everflow beside AppsFire, and how do you really use those integrations to the benefit of the program?
For sure. So AppsFire, I think, is one of the main integrations that has really helped us to work in this on this big project. And it's amazing that Everflow allows such a smooth integration with the MMP. So, firstly, what the integration allows us is to be able to analyze all the data from the affiliate offer in our internal BI marketing system, which is very convenient for us. And another thing is that it allows us to use AppsFire tools like Protect 360, for example, which allows us to measure the levels of fraud on the affiliate level. So, like I mentioned before, Playtika did have a affiliate program in the past, and it was discontinued due to fraud. But the integration that Everflow allows us with AppsFire basically makes it possible that we can analyze each affiliate and their levels of fraud, and it just makes optimization much more effective. Um, Another integration that is great to have with Everflow is the whole payment system. So we're working with a company called Tipalti, also a partner of Everflow, that Everflow actually introduced us to. And think like if we're going to be working with thousands of affiliates, hopefully in the future, it's going to be a real pain to deal with the payment for each affiliate, the invoices for each affiliate, especially when we're such a big public and bureaucratic company. So Tipalti, the integration with Tipalti basically allows us to streamline this whole process, and where we just don't have to deal with all the payments and Tipalti handles it for us. So I think these two integrations has really made the project possible.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. And obviously, like as Dan mentioned, Brad, you've done good work in sketching this out because this is a pilot for you guys, right? When you were looking previously at other activity, and you were mentioning fraud, and let's sort of touch on that, but just to sort of maybe even help our users sort of or our viewers sort of frame things. If someone's in the gaming space, what kind of data points are important to you guys at Playtika that other people could learn from, so that, you know, you're obviously very sophisticated at what you're doing. You know, you mentioned sort of day 180, day 360 of users.
Yes.
What kind of KPIs do you guys look at to evaluate that data as it comes through, outside of Everflow, perhaps generally within Playtika? And which are the ones that really kind of jump out as being the important ones if someone's in a similar
For
position
sure.
to you?
So like I mentioned previously, we're an extremely data-oriented company. So any KPI that you can possibly think of, we probably have it in our system and we work with it. I would say the main ones in our marketing ecosystem, the main KPIs would be retention, um, average revenue per paying user. It can be CPIs, obviously, or cost per FTD, like a first-time depositor, conversion rates, click-through rates. But I would say that the main KPI, and I think this is probably true for most businesses, is ROI. ROI is king. Um, and I think for Playtika, what's mostly important isn't just ROI, but the progression of the ROI. So we want to see progression in our activity from cohort from day 7 to day 14 to day 30 to day 90 to predictive day 180 and so on and so forth. And I think what's most important for us is to see stability and progression in the activity that we run with our partners. And yeah, and then everything else we look at from retention to RP, like we mentioned. We look at from geo breakdown to site, everything. But ROI and progression is definitely the main one. And I think something interesting that Everflow has given us the opportunity to do is to work for the first time on a rev share cost model, which isn't something that Playtika has done in the past. Um, and Everflow gives us the opportunity to do so and to test it out.
Cool. Yeah, because there's lots of features within Everflow that enable clients to kind of manage their own program, right? You can have reports based on a click level that kind of sync with Apps Flyers 360, for example, so you can stop that fraud in its tracks, settle your own commercials and things like that. The affiliates you mentioned, it's kind of interesting, right? You've obviously got, like, the beginning of this pilot scheme, a bunch of new affiliates that are signed up. For any people that are viewing and listening, what kind of affiliates are you ideally looking for? I think you had some ideal kind of profiles of affiliates and affiliates traffic.
Yeah. So it can be anything from someone who has a comparison site to a blogger to an influencer, to comparison sites to small media buying agencies. Basically, like the small players, like anyone who has uh, a unique stream of traffic that they can drive to our apps. Those are the people that we want to work with.
Yeah, cool. And it's probably been a little early for you to kind of dig into the reports, right? Because you're just running sort of a pilot at the moment. But what you mentioned that, you know, Everflow is easy to use. What other kind of, again, spoon-fed question, what other kind of features do you see within the Everflow platform that you like, that you would sort of, you know, recommend that are useful to people that are thinking of using Everflow?
For sure. So usually when we onboard a partner, not connected to the affiliate program, it can take around a month, just from signing the IO to adding them as a new supplier to um, setting up the integrations, everything, and it can take a long time. So with Everflow, everything is extremely simple. So for example, just the IO. In Everflow, they give us the opportunity, it's one of the features, for any affiliate that wants to work with Playtika, they need to agree to our terms and conditions. So all they need to do is a check mark, and they agree to our terms and conditions, and that's parallel to signing an IO with us. So a process that can take in regularly 1 to 2 weeks, and through Everflow it takes 30 seconds. I mean, obviously read the terms and conditions, so it'll take 5 minutes. And that's one of the amazing features that we've used. Another feature is I think just the reporting system. Like it's quite similar to our internal BI system. And I think what's cool is that both affiliate and us can use the reporting system of Everflow, and we can see the same data and we can speak the same language. So the reporting can also be very detailed. It can go, for example, there's an affiliate that we just started working with that they want to optimize via site ID. So Everflow allows them to add a macro to the tracking link, and then they can do all the optimization through the Everflow reporting system.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, there's a lot you can do there, right, within the reports. And I don't know how much of the platform I really know, even though I'm using it all the time. And within terms of sort of like this whole idea of like, you've obviously sketched out this pilot and looking at these sort of smaller fish in terms of like, the pool that you're sort of fishing within. What would you say kind of like you've seen as general trends within user acquisition? You've got maybe like big channels like Meta, Google, and so on. What would you say, sort of broadly speaking, at the very broadest level, like the trends that you see in user acquisition?
For sure. So we've seen quite a spike in the whole world of CTV, connected TV. So as advertisers, I would keep an eye out on that and try to get into that whole new channel. And another channel that has been really increasing in traffic for Playtika is incentivized traffic. So offer walls and rewarded traffic.
Yeah.
So that's something that I would also keep an eye on in the world of UA. The important thing about incentivized traffic, though, is to make sure that the user continues to be incentivized, that he doesn't just churn after he receives his rewards.
Yeah.
So the key is to really find an effective multi-event flow that keeps the user in the game.
Yeah, and I suppose again, just sort of opening this up to a sort of round table, like Dan, you come from the mobile space, right? And I suppose that could be one trend that we see is that people are more interested in users deeper into the funnel, right? Previously, there was a lot of money in like venture capital where it's like, hey, we just want new users in Turkey or Indonesia, and we don't really care too much about whether they turn into players. I was in that space for a little bit, and I think, Dan, you were as well, right? And what we've seen is that people like Playtika and many other clients are like, okay, we actually want to buy real players that continue their journey deeper into the funnel, right?
Correct. I think that the engagement is the most important things, and those are the metrics that I'm sure Barak and his team is working on. But like the return on investment, it's a one thing, but like, how do you see the engagement? As you mentioned, Barak, like the 180 days or something to see players there. Those are the valuable players that we want. How we can reach out to those kinds of players and not just the one who download the app and not even playing.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I think first of all, Playtika's games are quite entertaining. So, once you get them in the game, I think we offer like a level of entertainment that maybe other games don't, and they just enjoy themselves regardless of the incentive to play. Yeah, and I think it's also very important to make sure to focus on data, to make decisions based on data. So if you see that you're generating traffic and you see that the day 180 is quality, then you want to drive based on the data. You want to drive those same types of users. So any decision that comes to UA and to where to put your extra dollar, it all has to be revolved around accurate data and making decisions just based on data.
Yeah. And within sort of Playtika itself, like gaming is obviously such a huge industry, right? Bigger than Hollywood. And, a lot of people forget how big gaming is. What sort of exciting things have you seen in Playtika of like the future of the business and the direction that it's going, and more broadly, the future of gaming, if that's not too big a question to ask?
I mean, like I mentioned, Playtika is always looking for the next challenge. So I wouldn't be surprised if there'll be some more mergers and acquisitions in the future. I think this whole affiliate program is also something that's very big for Playtika. Like it's creating a whole new revenue stream for the company. And it's creating a whole new partnership with publishers that we didn't have the opportunity to work with in the past, and maybe driving unique traffic in areas where we weren't as strong in previously. So I think this affiliate program is also something that's very exciting. And like I said, it's only a pilot that we're doing with one of our top casual games, Solitaire Grand Harvest, but we have 7 other top games that we're going to be launching this affiliate program for. And I think everything that comes with AI and future technologies. So Playtika always wants to be ahead of the game, and I wouldn't be surprised like if we have in the future in our marketing department new KPIs that are revolved around AI. If it comes to predicting the retention of users or the RP of users, I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that Playtika does. And yeah, and maybe I don't know, creating one of our own games. Who knows? I think like there's so many possibilities for such a big mobile gaming company.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Any other questions, Adan, from your side?
And no, I have to say that I really liked the discussion. I think Barak, you presented it in a really nice way. And any thoughts about like the next few months? How is it going to look for you in the terms of the program?
For sure. So at the moment, we're just onboarding any affiliate that wants to work with us. We're also quite open to feedback and to insights from the side of the publishers. It's important for us that the affiliates are also happy, and any feedback that we can possibly have, we're happy to hear. And in the next few months, I think we just want to drive as much traffic as possible to the offer. Um, Make sure that the levels of fraud are as low as possible, and also I think just through trial and error, because like I mentioned, this is like a whole new area and industry that Playtika is jumping into now. So we'll learn like which type of affiliates we want to work with more, which type of traffic we find to be higher quality, and when we launch, hopefully in 3 months, the other affiliate offers for other games. So it'll be after this whole pilot period and this trial and error and learning and a lot of insights. So I'm sure that the other offers that we're going to be launching for other games will be even better than this one at the moment.
Sounds really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to hear those results and like insights that you have after like 3 months, and maybe we can have another fireside chat then.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it from my end. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Barak. Looking forward to see you guys again.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.